May I remind you that trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Welcome to Quant-in-a-Box Daily. Today is December 23rd, Friday. Congratulations for making it through the week. We are, 2 days before Christmas? Yay! I hope that you have got lots of beautiful plans with your loved ones and that you're looking forward to delicious turkey dinners and pudding crackers around the table, and that you haven't got any coal in your stockings. Let's take a look at where we are today. So Quant-in-a-Box Daily, what is Quant-in-a-Box? So Quant-in-a-Box is a beautiful global macroeconomic quant in a box. Wayne McDonald has spent a lot of time bringing data together and collating it for you in a single, easy-to-use space. Quantbox.co is where you can find out more about what Quant-in-a-Box is, and you can sign up for a weekly trial at just $7.90. It's beautiful, friends. It's not going to make you a better trader because you require fundamentals and technicals, but what it will do is it will help you understand what your fundamental bias is. You can see here, if we look at score chart summary, this is the bias fundamentally for pretty much everything you could possibly want to trade. We've got commodities, we've got bonds, we've got global stock indices, we've got cross-currency pairs, Japanese yen currency pairs, and dollar currency pairs. It's beautiful. And as you can see here from the spread, look at this wonderful array of data points that you can look at. What's nice about this is that you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours updating Excel spreadsheets. What I like about it specifically is the COT data and the seasonality that you get. Okay, it's absolutely stunning. You can see there's some data that's busy updating at the moment. Let's take a look at pound dollar and see if we can get something over there. Here's an example, right? So seasonality is absolutely stunning. To find that for all of these currency pairs and something that's consistent across all of them is beautiful. Your fundamental data just right over here in terms of inflation and interest rates. It scores everything across a number of data points and gives you a beautiful summary. It's gorgeous. It really, really is amazing. So next time you find yourself in a situation where you're looking to buy something, you can look at the bias and you say, oh, fundamentally we are bearish. Am I sure I want to buy? And if you do buy and it is bullish, because you can have short-term bullishness in a bearish situation, you might find yourself taking profit sooner rather than later. Now, in terms of economic news, we can see here that we can change our impact to medium and high. I've done that. And we can change our date to today, which I've done. And that's our news for today. Yesterday, we had GDP coming out of the UK. And last night we had inflation data coming out of coming out of Japan. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But in terms of today, we've got some yellow in terms of European countries. We've got some Canadian GDP month on month later today. And then quite a lot of very important data coming out of America. PCE, personal income, personal spending, durable good orders, quite a lot. New home sales, a lot of stuff that the Fed are paying attention to. Remember, the Fed are paying attention to the economy. The economy is strong, then their dot plot remains for next year. And if you've paid attention to the Fed, the last meeting, you'll remember that there's potentially 3 or 4 hikes next year. And then from December next year, they're going to start cutting. But everything is data dependent, right? In terms of which meetings are live, et cetera, et cetera. So as long as the US continues to have good unemployment, so if the unemployment is low and everything else shows positive signs of a good economy, then they're going to maintain that dot plot. So this is where you'd like to pay attention to these things. But what's nice is that you can just go into here and you can jump onto the euro dollar and say, well, what's going on with euro dollar? And you can look at the data points over here. Beautiful. Now, if you've been following me for the last couple of days, then you know that nothing really has changed on this summary. Okay, everything's pretty much what was neutral is still neutral. What was a strong buy might potentially become a buy, but these are still green and these are still red. So what I want to do today is take a look at the charts technically and have a look and see, are there any things that we would like to pay attention to? So here's the Aussie dollar USD. Now, yesterday we spoke about this saying like, we're not really keen on doing anything with this until such time as we break out of this consolidation. You can see there, we're coming up, we're coming down. I don't like trade ranges because I don't like boomerang trades. If I take a trade, I want the trade to continue on in that direction for a significant period of time. And when we look like this, that's not I don't really like that. What I prefer is I prefer beautiful trends like this. Okay, that's gorgeous. You sell over here, you make a ton of money. When price pulls back, you don't get knocked out. So for Aussie dollar USD, I'm going to leave this alone and wait for something to set up. In terms of euro dollar, we're still stuck in the same range we were yesterday. Okay, yesterday I spoke about this and said, if you're looking at euro dollar, you're trapping price, okay, and waiting for price to break out in whichever direction it breaks out in. Okay, we have got this support here which continues to hold. I'm still not going to get into any trades because I don't want price to come back out and have to deal with that. I'd rather know that like price has made a higher high, higher low, or price is broken out, made a lower low, lower high. Either way, I'm cool, whatever. What you could do is you could look at the fundamental bias of euro dollar and say, okay, what are we dealing with in terms of euro dollar? And you can find it over here. You can say, euro dollar is currently neutral fundamentally, and euro dollar is currently neutral technically. Okay, groovy. So let's leave that one alone. In terms of pound dollar, yesterday we spoke about pound dollar and we said, okay, so look to sell off of the roll reversal and the 21 EMA on the 4-hour. And we spoke about the 15-minute chart and said, if you set this up on the M15 chart, you're looking for price to come back up and double top. And price did at the London Open. That's the last candle to close before London Open. And that's exactly what happened. Price came straight up and double topped. And then price came up slightly, and then GDP came out. So if you sold pound dollar yesterday, because you're selling out of position, I'm quite keen on taking profit quite quickly, okay? Whether that is at a daily profit-taking zone, you can see here clearly the daily M1 being respected, or alternatively, the weekly, you're holding on to that. If you are looking for more opportunities on pound dollar, this is probably one of the few pairs that's actually moving quite nicely right now at the present moment. You know, we'll see how things go today. You're looking at that over there. That's your resistance. Wait for price to pull back. 4-hour 21 resistance is cool. In terms of your H1 time frame, things to be concerned about. You can see here price first of all made this higher low. So price came down, made this lower low. Then price came up off this resistance here. Price came down, made this higher low. Price came up to the 1-hour 21. Then price came down, didn't make a lower low. I'd be very, very careful of selling at the 1-hour 21. Just because of the fact that you can see bears sold here, but they didn't make a lower low. So to me, this is not behaving bearishly right now. I would wait for price to pull back on the 4-hour and rather take a trade there. Okay, be careful. And of course, everything you do is confirmed on an M15 chart. So if you don't believe me, you say, well, hold on a second, this is the H121, absolutely got to sell here. Then what you're looking for is an indication of bearishness. Be that double top, followed by a lower low, lower high, just like yesterday. Okay. And if yesterday you didn't like the double top over here because this price broke up above that, then you're just simply waiting for price to break down and then close at resistance. And you could do that as well, right? Wait for price to break down, pull back, there's the roll reversal, and take the trade over there. So you could wait for the exact same thing over here, right? Easy peasy Japanesey. Cool. Let's move on. In terms of the Kiwi dollar, currently in a profit-taking zone. Okay, cool. 21 below the 55. Nothing indicates bullishness right now on this time frame. If you did sell yesterday at the 4-hour 21, then you can see there you have the roll reversal, you have the 4-hour 21. What time was that candle? Okay. So looking at that, you would have set that up off of the 55. Again, on the M15, you would have looked at that in terms of, looks very similar to pound dollar, okay? Price coming down, and there's your little lower low, lower high. You can see there. The price coming off of that resistance over there. Okay. And this one over here is the second opportunity. This one not so clear. This one over here. That one over there, not so bad, okay? But again, taking profit very, very quickly because of the fact you're out of position, okay? And so close to a profit-taking zone. Not a massive fan of selling so far out of position so late in the week, but you do you. USD CAD, we can see here USD CAD still very sideways. Oh, sorry, one thing on the New Zealand dollar. If you are looking for a sell on New Zealand dollar, then you're currently coming up to resistance. Okay, roll reversal is there. I would wait for this candle to close, personally, because it hasn't closed yet. You want to see price closing at resistance. You got a 4-hour 21. You got a roll reversal there. It's easy. Like, look at that and say, could that be where I want to sell? Go to M15 and just verify it. What are you looking for? Well, you're looking for lower low, lower high. It's easy. Lower low, pull back, lower high. Be patient for it. Wait for it. It'll appear if it's there. And if it doesn't, this continues going up. Guess what? You didn't sell, which means you're going to lose money. Beautiful, right? Just do that every single time. USD CAD over here consolidating. We're going to leave this alone. We had this discussion earlier this week about price being at the daily 21. Okay. You can see price then respecting that daily 21 popping up. You can see that down there. That was earlier in the week with the Canadian data that came out, right? Cool. So if you got that down there off the weekly S1, that would have been yesterday. Price coming down. It's a difficult trade, and also the fact that we're consolidating. I'm not a massive fan. I'd like to see a trend form in the H4 time frame personally, because you can see price comes up, price comes down, price comes up, price comes down. I'm not a massive fan of that. I'd like to see a nice trend on all time frames. Nonetheless, let's move on. So Aussie yen. Now, yesterday we spoke about the yen pairs and like setting up because we got inflation data out of Japan last night and Asia. You can see here. Look at the daily time frame. Everything is still very sideways. So I'm looking for an indication of bullishness, i.e. a higher high, higher low roll reversal. Or alternatively, I'm looking for an indication of bearishness. The fact that we're making these lows like this and we haven't closed at roll reversal tells me that something's on. Now, if you look at this candle over here, this 4-hour candle is currently at this resistance over here. Okay. I'm not a fan of selling this. If this isn't a lower low, why would I want to try and sell a lower high? Lower highs are preceded by lower lows. So I wouldn't want to do that. But if you insist that that's what you want to sell, again, very, very easy. Go to your M15 time frame and just set up the lower low. You can see here price is looking like a double topped, but be careful. It came off a 21 EMA. It didn't break the 55 before it did that. So all you do now is you say, okay, cool, market. Are you double topping off a daily M3? Show me a lower low, show me a lower high, and then you can take the trade, right? And because you're so far out of position, you would definitely be taking profit potentially at the daily target. If you get that far down, keep an eye on New York. But I don't like this price action over here on the 4-hour chart frame or even on the daily time frame. It doesn't say, please trade me. Not a fan. Let's take a look at the CAD yen. Also, same situation. Okay, cool. So the yen pairs didn't really move as much as we'd like them to have moved off of the inflation data. Look at the euro yen, very sideways. That's okay. Keep an eye on the yen pairs. Maybe next week we get some kind of indication of direction. You can see there, pound yen also, same situation. What's nice about this, they're all behaving in the same way. So you can put them on a watch list. And if you see one, then you see them all, right? Just verify them and act accordingly. So in terms of our CAD pairs, one of the CAD pairs we looked at this week was Kiwi CAD. Price was at a profit-taking zone. Okay, we were looking for a higher high, higher low. We didn't get it. You see price didn't respect the 21 EMA on the daily time frame. And you can see this candle here hasn't really closed at roll reversal. So we're looking, you've got a 4-hour 21 over there. Again, why not? If you see price at a 4-hour 21, go to M15 time frame, do the exact same thing. Look for a lower low, lower high, right? But right now, this is looking like price broke resistance. If we look left, we can see we've got some resistance on the left-hand side. But with price being at a profit-taking zone, maybe a better trade for next week. And beyond that, we can look at EuroCAD and just see how that has behaved itself. We were at a profit-taking zone earlier this week. You can see we're still there at the moment, okay? Something else you're paying attention to, again, sideways. So right now, the only trade that really looks like it could potentially be doing anything would be the pound dollar, because price is currently on its way to resistance at a 4-hour 21. Beyond that, pretty sideways. Maybe an opportunity to wrap presents today and just, prepare for the weekend. Whatever you decide to do, just remember, be patient, stay disciplined, remain liquid. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. If you are celebrating Christmas this weekend, I wish you an amazing time with your family. If you aren't, well, then enjoy the public holiday on Monday. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. All the best. Thanks for your time. Merry Christmas.